Welcome to the Mouse Ears Podcast. You are listening to us at your go-to source for all things travel, but mostly Disney, and we are proudly sponsored by Fairy Tale Journeys Travel. Whether you're a first-time visitor or a seasoned Disney pro, we're here to bring you the latest news, insider secrets, and fun stories from the happiest and most magical places on Earth. Make sure you give us a like and a follow on whichever platform you are listening to us or watching us. And don't forget to check out the Mouse Ears blog, where we dive even deeper into Disney, Universal, Disney and Universal for right now, with trip planning and magic, just all kinds of magic. All right. Now let's jump into the episode, and I'm here with my amazing co-host. We have Steph. Hello, Steph. And we have Kelton.
Hello.
All right. Well, I think, let's see, today's podcast, this episode's very special to me. We are going to be talking about allergies and dining with allergies, specifically at Walt Disney World. We're going to be doing a really, really deep dive, sharing the best allergy-friendly eats, planning tips, and must-know tricks for a stress-free experience. All right, but first, we're going to do our trivia questions. So take it away, Kelton.
I shall, Jen. Thank you very much. As always, today's trivia questions brought to you by the Magic Candle Company. The next time you want a Disney-inspired scent to fill your home or office, whether it may be a candle, room spray, scent, or more, use our special promo code MouseEars for 15% off. That is MOUSEEARS. 15% off of any future Magic Candle Company purchase. Today's trivia question: what was the first character dining experience over at Walt Disney World? I think it's a fabulous question. Really going to tie in a little bit to today's episode. Stick around for the answer at the end of the episode. Thank you, Jenny. Back to you.
All right. So we're going to dive right in because we have a lot to cover. I have many, many allergies. I will not list them all, but you may hear me talk about some of them. Because even I have to look it up on my phone. Yay, because I forget. And then I get reminded. Like, you can't have that.
So you have that many that you have them all listed on notes in your phone?
I do.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I do.
We work as a team to remind her when we eat with her at Walt Disney World. This is no joke. But we do it because we care.
It's a team sport. It's a collective effort to keep me safe. I try. The chefs try. We do a really good job, but this is really close to my heart. I work with a lot of clients who have dietary restrictions, and whether they're a vegan, which I'm also a vegetarian, pescatarian, whether they have food allergies, this is kind of going to cover all of it and just give you some best practices. Walt Disney World in particular, is a great option for people with food allergies. There are lots and lots of choices for different types of cuisine. So I believe at last count, and Kelton, you had looked this up, there are over 200 restaurants.
Over 200 places to dine with food.
Yes.
At Walt Disney World.
So there's a lot of options. It's a lot different than, let's say you're going to go, to a city like, I'm just going to use Washington, D.C., where you're really going to have to research and find a way to the restaurants and all of that. It makes dining with allergies a lot easier because everything is more condensed and they have standards across the board. So no matter which restaurant you go to, it's going to be the same process. And we'll get into that. There are also chefs. The chefs have my heart. Some of them are just so amazing, and I'm going to give them shout outs later. So if you head to those places, you can say hello. But there are chefs that will cater to your needs. One of the first things I tell people, and for me myself, that I found is it comes down to the very first planning. When you're that very first step of planning your trip, when you are looking at a hotel or a resort, or whether you want to stay on property or off property. So I'm going to give a little rundown. If you were staying on property, which is what I recommend, but if you were staying on site, you have regular rooms and villas. So the regular rooms will have, they call it a mini fridge. It's more of a beverage cooler.
Because I think they only go down to like 55 degrees. It's not much.
Pro tip, bring a gallon-sized baggie and get ice from the ice machine and put it in there, and it'll cool it down even more. You'll lose some space, but it'll cool it down even more. So especially if you have like an EpiPen that needs to stay refrigerated, something like that's good. So those are the regular rooms. You're not going to have really, depending on which room, you're not really going to have a microwave. Sometimes you can ask the front desk for them, and they will allow you to rent them or to have one in your room, but they are very limited. They're very hard to get. I would not count on it. So an opposite of that are the villas. And if you've heard this podcast, you would realize, especially when we're traveling together, that, Steph and I, we stay in villas a lot. The reason why we really like villas, number one, is the space, but number two, there is a full kitchen. They have utensils and bakeware, pots, pans, a stove, a refrigerator and freezer. It makes eating so much better and so much easier, just knowing that should something arise, like happened on our last trip, you can go back to your room and you can prepare a meal, and you can at least have a safe meal there, which is on our last trip what I had to do.
So good point, because, and for those that don't know, if you're requesting a villa, just make sure to know, like, that's on the Disney Vacation Club side. So a lot of times those do tend to go quick, especially because you guys had the 2-bedroom villa when we were there for Summit. So those 2 and 3 bedroom villas usually tend to go quick. So that's why you always book early.
Book early. Now, with the villas, they are usually released around 7 months before the the trip date. So about 7 months out is when you really want to, okay, we really want a villa. Just know you might have to wait until 7 months out. Okay. They're not always available. Cost wise, Saratoga and Old Key West are going to be the least expensive options. Old Key West will have the largest rooms. They are the largest villas just across the property. They are the largest villas. So if you have a big family going, that's a really good option. You're going to have a lot of space. We have stayed in the 2-bedroom at Saratoga, I don't know, like 4 times now. So it's somewhere that I really like it there. It's very quiet, but it's also very cost effective. So if you're going with a bigger family, there are 5 in my family, and there's usually 5 of us ladies when we're traveling, it works out really well. And the 2 bedrooms do sleep 9. The 3 bedrooms, and they are very limited. The 3 bedrooms do sleep up to 12, and the 1 bedrooms, I believe you can fit 5 in. And then they also have studios. But if you're going to do a villa, I would do at least a 1 bedroom so that you have a really dedicated dining space, and it's just better. It's just better. So that are regular rooms versus villas. So you need to look at that. Now, to throw a little wrench in there, there's also club level. I am a huge fan of club level. Now, I know it's pricey. It looks like it's pricey, and it is. It does cost more. Stay with me here. But they serve breakfast. They serve really good snacks for lunch. They serve you a dinner, and they say it's not a lot of food. I'm telling you, it's a lot of food. Okay? It is a lot of food. There's also unlimited beer, wine, Bailey's in your coffee. If you're buying coffee, they're Joffrey's. Unlimited Mickey ice cream bars. There's snacks and sodas and waters and, stuff. And you don't have to eat it there.
We really need to do an episode on club level alone.
Yeah, there needs to be a club level. Maybe we'll put that in there. The advantage of club level is they have the same chefs there for about the same shifts every day. So I'm going to do one shout out right now. My favorite club level is the Contemporary. So Chef Gio and Chef Derek, they have my heart. my whole family. They have, I'm way above and beyond, but you fill out a form and then they call you a few days before your trip. And it's not some just general, it is the people at the desk, up there at the club level lounge. And hey, we wanted to talk about your allergies. They will have plates ready for you for when you go. So at night, you can say, I'll be having breakfast here tomorrow. And when you come down, they will have a plate already ready for you. So for me, that looked like that was just egg. That was avocado toast. That was the few fruits that I could have that I'm not allergic to. That was hash browns. It was like being at a buffet minus the Mickey waffles. You can't get Mickey waffles here, but it was phenomenal and so much food. So much food. Lunch is a little bit lacking, but you can still eat.
I'll say this too. It's not just that they're ready for Jen with her food, but they also have, if you haven't never seen, when there is an allergy cautious food that's being made, a plate dish, they'll have a little toothpick with purple paint on it. So that's like one indicator of, hey, we got to be mindful of this dish, making sure there's no cross contamination. Beyond that, all of her dishes were wrapped in what's saran, not saran wrap, plastic wrap.
Saran wrap.
Yeah,
saran
it was
wrap.
like saran wrap.
And I'm telling you, like, they go above and beyond to make sure that her dish, if it's pre-made, and she doesn't have to tell them at what time in the morning she's going to go. They're going to have it ready first thing in the morning. They're going to take care of it. They're going to put it off to the side. They're going to wrap it, make sure no one is messing with her food so that she can have a dependable meal. And that speaks volumes. You want to trust in the food that you eat as much as you trust in the company when you have allergies as severe as many people do. And so with confidence, Jen can speak to that from her own personal experience and me from being the witness of this. So it really stuck out to me that even the plastic wrap, they made sure to do that for your safety, Jen. And I loved that they did that at club level.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they did the plastic wrap and just stuck it somewhere for whoever with an allergy came. It had my name on it. It was specifically for me. It was more than enough food. So I want to touch on this a little bit because I know a lot of people are put off by the cost. Can no longer do the parks from open to close. I used to be able to rope drop to fireworks with no problem. I just can't do it anymore. So we take breaks. So we're back and forth from the resort a lot. So you also need to take that into consideration when you're choosing where to stay. So with that, I totally lost my train of thought, but really just lost my train of thought. So,
and that's how the podcast goes.
And that's how it happens. But we're back and forth a lot. So, it was easy for me to have a lot of meals on not our last family trip we stayed club level, and we were there, 5 days? We had one quick service in Hollywood Studios, and we had the lunch that the podcast did with our families, all the MEPs, and yay. But those were the only 2 meals the entire time that we paid for. So when you're looking from a cost perspective, and let's say a breakfast. So we just recently went to Boma and it was $5 a person, right around $45 a person. Well, when you times that times 5 days, that is a significant savings on your food cost. And we didn't have the dining plan. We strictly ate club level, except for those 2 instances. We did the math. We saved over $1,800 on food. So, yes,
you didn't
it
just
looks like
save on food, but you got food that you having strict food parameters, and not just you, because you do have family members as well that have their own allergies or preferences with food. Your daughter's vegan, correct?
Well, Amelia is just as allergic to things as I am. She has a long list also. So,
So imagine that.
yeah.
I mean, they're commenting to your whole family, and you're saving, and you're getting treated like the queens you are. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank
Fantastic.
you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. It was really nice, and it was nice that the chefs knew me. And I'm speaking strictly for the Contemporary. We had stayed there on a girls' trip, and we were so impressed that we booked it for our family trip just, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks later. And when I walked out of the elevator, "Hi, Jennifer, how are you? Would you like a mimosa? Oh, wait, you can't have the pog juice because it has orange in it." That is how amazing they are with it. That Jamie, her name is Jamie, was up there, and she already knew that it would just be regular champagne at 9 o'clock in the morning, because why not? You're at Disney.
Hold on, there's nothing wrong with regular champagne at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Especially not at Disney. No.
You might need it at Disney.
So,
Honestly, who wouldn't want a champagne while having the eagle's eye point of view of being able to see Cinderella's castle?
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's something to celebrate.
It was a
You
spectacular
made it.
morning, and my husband is now like, we have to stay club level every time, darling. But from a cost perspective, you really need to sit down and do the math on that, because it can be a significant savings, even though you're paying more for your room and for club level. When you factor in all of the food costs, you're going to come out ahead if you utilize it the way that you can. So something I want to mention, and it's not a food allergy, but it's an allergy, and a lot of people have this allergy. If you are allergic to dogs, be aware that there are dogs allowed at 4 of the Disney resorts. Now, service animals can stay, I believe, at any resort, but there are pets allowed at certain resorts. So you want to avoid Yacht Club. You want to avoid Port Orleans Riverside, the cabins at Fort Wilderness, and what was
Art
the
of
other
Animation.
one? And Art of Animation. If you have a dog allergy, you're going to want to avoid those resorts. Okay. So that's for on site. If you want to stay off site, oh goodness, I
Can't really help you there.
can't really help you there. Well, actually,
We
you can.
can.
Yeah, we can. And I've booked allergy people in a house, kind of like an Airbnb thing. We have a vendor that we work with, and they're phenomenal. But, and you'll have a full kitchen, you'll have all of that, but there's going to be a lot of time back and forth. You're going to be eating a lot in the parks, anyways. So just keep that in mind, that if you have a lot of allergies, I really recommending being on site and staying on site. You can stay off site, but I highly recommend that you're on site, because it's just going to make life so much easier. All right. Now, we mentioned it just a little bit, your park days. So you really need to think about your park days, because some parks are better than others with food and with allergies, and some are far more restrictive. I personally have a very, very, very hard time in Magic Kingdom. Steph can attest that I will not stay in Magic Kingdom all day long, because there is really only one safe option for me there, and that is Casey's. And even with Casey's, there are times where I've had it and I'm like, okay, it's good, but I'm not feeling all that great afterwards, because it's not exactly the healthiest. There are much better choices. And
And I was
that,
going to say, I actually have somebody who can attest to dealing with gluten, not just gluten, but allergy,
yeah.
and how to prepare allergy stuff at Casey's Corner,
Mm-hmm.
because Casey has worked at Casey's Corner.
Yeah.
So she used to be the one to do preparing a lot of the stuff for the,
Yeah.
for guests that had, whatever allergies. So yeah, she can attest to everything
Yeah.
it's not the hell, because a lot of it's still fried, but
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not the healthiest.
French fries and a plant-based dog, and I mean that's not going to get you through a day at Magic Kingdom, no matter how many Dole Whips and pretzels you have. Okay.
But you've had hit or miss opportunities at Skipper Canteen, right? Because that's the only other place on Magic Kingdom property that I've heard you eat at.
Yeah. So with my
Food.
allergies, actually, I ate at what was it, Liberty Tree. However, Liberty Tree could not safely serve me any of their food. So they were kind enough to run over to Jungle Skipper Canteen and get me food from there. So I was eating some kind of noodle dish sitting in Liberty Tree, but that's just the kind of service that they do. But the second
I
time I
was
went
gonna
there,
say,
it was not good. It just wasn't good. It was good the
well,
first time.
I'll say this though. If I can say anything positive, is that like kudos to the cast members who made their way from Frontierland all the way to Adventureland just to try and get you something to eat so that you can
I
actually
know.
have sustenance. That speaks to them. And for all of you
Yeah,
guys listening, cast members are magical.
they
Treat them
are.
with kindness because they will go above and beyond to try and sort anything out for you, honestly, to the best of their ability, of course. You can't get
Yeah.
much at the festivals, which we'll discuss.
Yep. But they're amazing, and I so appreciate that they did that. I was excited to go back to Skipper Canteen, but it was just not, it just wasn't good for me. My kids love it there, and I'm like, yeah, I've had their food before, but it just wasn't, I just didn't like it. So, Magic Kingdom, very, very rough for people with my specific allergies. I'll tell you my big ones. The ones that really get in the way are lettuce, tomato, peanuts. Not all restaurants use peanuts. Pecans, shrimp, which I don't eat anyways, but cross contamination. This is why I have a list. Help me out, Steph.
Strawberries,
Strawberries, bananas, oranges, which makes the
oranges,
pog juice not good and takes out a lot of desserts. I also have a few that are allergic, but it's very, very low on the list. So we
mild.
don't mention those. We don't mention those. I just have to be really, really careful. And I'm plant-based. So that throws another little kink in another little wrench in there. So when you're looking at your plans, you really need to look at your dining as far as park days. Our park days they revolve around dining because we have to be able to eat. So just keep that in mind. And we'll talk about menus in just a little bit. But the one big thing that I want to talk about, because my peanut allergy is not that bad. My peanut allergy is not that bad. However, I know that a lot of people have an airborne allergy to peanut dust and all that other stuff, and you don't know what people have brought in there. You can request an allergy cleaning of your resort hotel room, and they will go in and do a very thorough, very deep clean of your room before you get there. So just know that that's something that you can request. All right. Time to dine. Study the menus. Study the menus. I can.
Hold on. I just want to mention,
Yeah.
just even if you don't have an allergy or anything,
Mm-hmm.
just study the menus
Yeah.
because that will save you a huge amount of time when you are in the parks. If you just already go in, I'm doing Magic Kingdom for us. We're hitting Casey's Corner. I like Cosmic Race. Casey does not, so we probably compromise and end up at Pecos. And then we probably do Casey's Corner again for dinner because we love our corn dog nuggies.
Yes.
Kenny, not so much. Casey and I do.
And arguments. How many times do you hear, where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. What's there
And
to eat?
if you're going to argue, please don't stand in the middle of Main Street, USA and argue. People like us, we have places to be. The cruise is calling my name. We got to go.
Gotta go. Nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And every menu has something different. No, you will not see hot dogs and hamburgers at every location. There
No.
is sustenance.
Yes.
Go get the
Absolutely.
walking
point,
taco
Kelton.
from Pecos. Get that walking
Hey,
taco.
did you know that the lunching pad at Tomorrowland has a Cuban sandwich hot dog?
Yes.
Hello, people. Check the menus. Foodie over
Yep.
here. Okay, off topic. Sorry, Jen.
No. That's good. And that's actually one of the next thing I was talking about with studying the menus. Anywhere you go, you're going to have to speak to a chef. It's going to take time because they're going to have to go and get the chef. They're going to have to put in your order. The chef's going to go back and they are going to make it from scratch. It's not just going to come from whatever magic heat lamp or, wherever. Like they're going to have a special dedicated area to prepare your food. It takes longer. So going in, knowing what you want, where you want to eat, kind of have an idea. And I'll probably do a screen recording of looking up the menus so that we can post that because I think that would be beneficial. But in my Disney experience, every restaurant has their menu. And if you scroll all the way down, it shows their allergy safe options and it says what allergies they are for. So look at the menus. Next, making your dining reservations and notating allergies. Now, when you make your dining reservations, you can notate allergies. I have way too many for that list. So I check off what I can. Eggs, allergic to eggs. See, there we go. Yeah. That's a bad allergy too. I always forget things. But notate your allergies. But no, even though you put them on there, you're going to have to talk to a chef and you want to talk to a chef. You want to talk to the person that is preparing your food. There's been a few occasions where they're like, well, I can tell the chef or, we can maybe get a manager. So nope, you bring out the chef. That's the first thing when we sit down. I need a chef.
And I'll say from a third perspective here, when it happens, let's say the server, they're just, I don't mind talking to you. How can I help you? What happens when you don't talk to the chef? You may or may not already know this, but the server doesn't know. So there is constant back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then it ends up being 2 hours before you can actually get a hot plate if it's hot at that point. This is not in any ways talking about the cast member servers because they're phenomenal. We've had some fantastic people. Shout out to Andy at Garden Grill. Yes, I did. But however, it'll just be a lot more of a pleasant experience when you can talk to the chef directly. You'll get, and Jen, you'll obviously talk more about it, but you'll get some chefs that are so excited to prepare something and have a challenge anyways. But they also want to make sure that they can give you something that you can enjoy, even if it's extremely limited in what they can and can't use within the kitchen. Again, it's for everyone's benefits for you to talk to a chef and limit the frustrations and the hangriness that can happen.
Yes.
And then on the quick service side, like you said, that would being for table service, quick service side, you will get either a manager or what they would call a lead or, something along that lines. But there are a few quick service locations that do actually have a chef attached. So quick service, you're probably going to get more of a gem or a manager or a lead of sorts.
But they are trained
Yes.
with the allergy stuff. So they are trained, they are good, they are back there watching. I've had quite a few chefs recently at quick service, so I don't know if they're changing that policy some because
It might be a change since you and I have worked there.
Yeah, so because there have been quite a few white coats that come out, and I've been able to talk to.
For those that don't know, that's a chef.
That's a chef. So you can also contact Disney Special Diets team if you have some really big concerns. I did that the first few times. I don't really do that anymore because I'm going to have to talk to a chef anyways. And that's just one less person that I have to talk to. I just notate it. I tell anybody and everybody while I'm being sat or in line that I'm going to need to talk to somebody about allergies. So quick service versus table service. We've already touched on this a little bit. I do much better unless I'm in Animal Kingdom. I do much better having at least one table service per day. Then I know I am having someone dedicated to creating, and I do give chefs free reign. I say, these are my allergies. This is what I don't really like. These are the foods I love. Have at it. And they have made me some of the most amazing dishes. And they really do like that challenge. So I give them free reign. Just here's what I'm allergic to. Here's what I don't really like that much. Here's what I love. And they go for it. And you can see their eyes light up. They're like, ooh, I get to create something. Because, chefs they're artists. Food is their medium. So I give them free reign and they do not let me down. So
And
go
I was
ahead.
going to say too, well, it obviously depends on where you're eating and everything, but they'll accommodate appetizer, entree, and dessert, which
Yeah.
I think is just, I always get so giddy about it because I'm like, I know my friend's gonna get a good meal. She's gonna get everything. It's not just like a one dish. Again, depends on where you go, but
Yeah.
regardless, they do ask and they are normally very accommodating to any and all of the dishes you're looking for.
Yeah. Um, I'll talk about quick service in a second, but since we're talking about table service, yes, buffets can be safe because you will not be getting your stuff from the buffet. They will I've had them walk with me, Hollywood and Vine. A chef walked with me down the buffet and I'm like, that looks good and that looks good and that looks really good. Can you modify that for my allergies? And we went down the line and they went to the back and prepared this giant plate. I mean, it was huge of all the foods that I had said that even if I just looked at it a little bit too long, it was on there. Even if I didn't say I wanted it, it was on there. And then sometimes, like we just did Boma and they have an allergy guide. Each buffet has like an allergy guide and it has all the foods listed with what, all that stuff is and what has what in it, and they still will go and make you a plate.
And for
Which
those that don't know, I would say that because I didn't know, the allergy guide that Jen is referring to is basically like a separate menu in detail. So, if they're like Jen was mentioning earlier, when you make a dining reservation and you list that there's someone in your party who has any allergies, as soon as they greet you at the table, or at the what is that called? I'm drawing blanks right now.
the
The
podium.
hostess, yes, the
Yeah.
hostess, Jenny, party of four, who's with the allergies. We've got the allergy menu here. They put it down, and it's just fantastic. They annotate that from the very beginning, but they make you feel special, I would say, and not like a burden.
Yeah.
So, and I want people to know that too. And I honestly think it's fantastic that they do have like a separate menu that is detailed like that. I had never seen it before. I don't have allergies, but it's been quite the learning experience for me going to Walt Disney World with Jen.
Yeah, it's so much fun, isn't it? But knock on wood, I haven't had an ambulance ride yet. So hopefully well, I did once, but it wasn't due to food allergies. So buffets can be safe. Don't be afraid of the buffets. Just know that they can be safe. You won't be going up to the buffet if you have a really sensitive cross-contamination issue there, that they'll make you a plate from the back. Quick service. Boy, do I struggle with quick service. On our last trip, we were very excited to eat at Bacalot Express. They had this tofu dish, and I was like, this is great. I can have this. Wrong. I had French fries for lunch. So keep in mind, quick service is designed for quick service. They are not always back there preparing all the food from scratch like they are in a table service. So in this particular case, and if you're allergic to tomatoes, you cannot have the tofu dish at Bacalot Express. That is the only dish that comes already pre-made. There was no way to get the tomatoes out of the sauce that it is in. So, actually, if you have an allergy like mine, where they're not one of the top 9, although I have those, but not one of the top 9, just be aware that, you might have issues with quick service restaurants because they're designed to get people in and out quick. I try not to do a lot of quick service when I'm there. So just, keep that in mind. All right, so we talked about the dietary requests at the restaurants. Also, when you check in at the podium or even when you are at a quick service, they will take your receipt or whatever it is, and they will put a big red stamp on it that says allergy. So everybody knows that there's an allergy. And you cannot just go up to anybody and say, I have an allergy, this is what I want. You will have to talk to somebody, whether that's a coordinator, a manager, or a chef themselves. All right, Epcot festivals. I love Epcot festivals, but
This one hurts quite a bit.
They're my arch nemesis. So for those of you that don't know, Epcot has many festivals throughout the year. Right now they're doing the Festival of the Arts, then it'll be the Flower and Garden Festival, and then the Food and Wine Festival. I really, really struggle with the festivals because if you've been there, there are these little tiny buildings, these little tiny kiosks. All the food is made in a giant kitchen somewhere else and brought over. There is almost no way to safely eat at one of the festivals. So if you plan on going and just snacking on festival food, know that that's probably not going to work for you. There are very, very few dishes. In fact, for Festival of the Arts, I only know of one that is safe for me. And even that one has to be modified, but it's an easy modification. It's a little bit better with the Flower and Garden. The Food and Wine Festival is where I have the best luck. So shout out to those potato and pea samosas because those are amazing. But just keep in mind, if you're going to a festival, you're probably going to want to book a table service for Epcot to eat and then maybe have a cocktail or two. I'm allergic to a lot of fruits, so I even struggle when it comes to the drinks. There's been times where we've gone and I'm like, can't have that, can't have that, can't have that. So keep in mind the festivals are going to probably be the most difficult part. All right. And, we've talked about, the parks and the resorts have a lot of good restaurants too. We're going to touch on that, but I want to touch on Disney Springs. So Disney Springs has third-party restaurants. These are not owned by Disney. Some of them have been really good with allergies. One of them made me cry. I mean, full tears, crying. They were absolutely awful and very, very mean about it. And they were
not tears of joy.
Not tears of joy.
I thought you were going to say tears of joy.
No,
Whoops.
no,
That's
it was
not Disney.
very bad. They were going to cross-contaminate, and I stopped the girl from cross-contaminating it, and she got very mad at me and yelled at me. So I will never go back there again, and I do not recommend it to any of my clients. Now, on the flip side of that, there is a delightful little bakery called Erin McKenna's, and there are only two in the world, three in the world. I think there's one in California somewhere, there's one in New York, and there's one at Disney Springs. I cried, y'all. I cried when I walked into that bakery. Everything is free of all the top allergens, and it's the first time since I was diagnosed, 15 years ago, that I walked in somewhere and I could have anything I wanted. So every trip I go there and I get their Samoa donut if they have it, and I get their mint chocolate cupcake, and they have a really good cookies and cream thing. I'm just saying we drop a lot of money in there. So just know, dessert-wise, if you want desserts for your room, you can run over to Erin McKenna's and you can get really, really good food there.
Do you think you eat pretty well at Summer House?
That's one of my favorite. Summer House. How we love thee. Summer House is new and it is amazing. Amazing. They were so good. They were so nice. The food was fantastic. Food was fantastic. That is probably my favorite Disney Springs restaurant is Summer House. I also like the Polite Pig. The Polite Pig does a really good job. Yes, it's a barbecue place, but I don't get any of the meat anyways, but they have these Brussels sprouts that are to die for. So those are my two go-tos for that area down there. So, and Aaron McKenna's because they're amazing. All right. So we just talked about it just a little bit, but all of the favorites. So these are my personal favorites. These are my must-dos, and please let's get these as quick as possible. So my favorite allergy-friendly snacks and treats in the parks. The Dole Whip. Hello to the Dole Whip. Ode to the Dole Whip.
I think that's everybody's favorite.
Some people don't like it. They don't like
myself.
Yeah.
I do not like the Dole Whip.
No flavor, none of them whatsoever.
Nope. I do not get the stapled Dole Whip when I go to the parks.
Do you get one of
I can eat your portion then.
You and Casey might have to, wrestle out for that one, but
that
yes.
is fine. We will share.
You heard that,
But
Casey, right? She's going to wrestle you for it.
But your portion is not going to waste.
No.
Jen, speaking of flavors, are there go-to flavor Dole Whips that you indulge in, can enjoy?
Just the regular old Dole Whip. If it's really hot, I like the float, because it's...
When you say regular, you're talking about the pineapple one, right?
Just a regular pineapple Dole Whip. Just bring on the regular Dole Whip. I would love to have the Dole Whip upside down cake. I can't have the cake part of it. It breaks my heart every time I'm in Magic Kingdom and I see it. But the Dole Whips you can only get in Animal Kingdom, at the Polynesian, and in Magic Kingdom. So don't go looking for a Dole Whip in Hollywood Studios. It doesn't exist. If you're in Hollywood Studios, you're going to have to get a Mickey pretzel, provided that you are not allergic to wheat and gluten. So, But a Mickey pretzel is good. If you're not allergic to corn, popcorn is one of the best. You can get just not like the specialty buckets, but a regular bucket for like $13 or $14, but you can refill it for like $2 for your entire trip. That's a huge cost savings too. So
if you haven't had popcorn for breakfast, are you really at Disney?
I know. Are you really living?
You're not living.
You're not living.
Popcorn in one hand, Dole Whip in the other, and it's 8:45 in the morning. Let's
Disney
go.
adults at its finest.
I tell you what.
Jen, you can't have anything from Toy Story Land, can you? Like, they don't have a specialty Pop-Tart? I really don't remember. I'm asking because I don't know.
The Pop-Tart I could not have because it was strawberry at the time.
Got it. Okay.
That we had. I think it was because it was strawberry. There was something about it that I couldn't have the Pop-Tart, and I was sad. I was very sad. And it's a sad day.
What about the Ronto wrap over at Galaxy's Edge? Because I know they have a vegan one. Is that not something? Nope. Okay.
Can't have it. I had it once. It was not really a Ronto wrap. It was literally a pita with zucchini in it, and that was it. It was not good. Don't just don't.
I'm so sad because I love a regular Ronto wrap. Sorry, I was trying to think of other specialty snacks from that park. Just
nope, pretzels and
well, you ate very well at Mama Melrose. I don't know if you can get anything.
Well, and that's the thing is that
not anymore.
I know, but Hollywood Studios table service have some of my favorite. So, but I want to do my favorite quick service first, because a lot of people are probably going to quick service. So the first one is Casey's. They have a plant-based dog that's good. I have to put mustard on it, but I only use a little bit because I can't put anything else. So I put relish, but it's good. And it's nice to, just sit on the hub grass and have the castle behind us. So that's fun. That is really the only place that I can eat in Magic Kingdom, which is sad. And if you're going and you have allergies, keep that in mind, that there may be places that you just can't go to. And it's sad, but it is what it is. And luckily I always travel with people who are very understanding about it. Epcot has some pretty decent, if you're back in the World Showcase, they have some pretty decent options. I can't remember the name of it, but the little place in Japan, the quick service there is actually pretty good. So, and it's like up on a hill, you have to climb stairs, and it's kind of tucked away. Beautiful place, beautiful view, but they have pretty good food.
Is it like
Sunshine seasons.
Fukusai or something?
Yeah, it's
Does
something
that
like
ring a
that.
bell? No? Okay.
It's
Yeah,
something
sorry.
like that. Yeah.
Thought I'd give it a stick.
Yeah, I don't eat there very, very often, because that is one of the parks that I also do not do quick service in very often. So I usually eat at a resort or, grab something on the way there and then do a table service. So, that one is really good. Sunshine Seasons sometimes has stuff that is safe for me, so I'll eat there. And that is in the Land Pavilion. Let me see, there's another one. I cannot think of what my other favorite one is there.
What?
Oh, Morocco, the hummus and pita. Back in Morocco, got to do the hummus and the pita. So just, I don't eat meat. So if you do eat meat, you're probably going to have a little bit easier of a time with it, but I don't. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, your girl. All right. Table service locations. This is the bread and butter, y'all.
Hey, hold on. Did I miss it, or did you not mention Satuli?
I'm sorry.
Or
Animal Kingdom.
and
Animal
Yak and
Kingdom.
Yeti? What? Come on.
So yeah, Satuli Canteen, hands down my favorite quick service. Actually, one of my favorite restaurants out of any of the thing. They're even if you don't like tofu, get the crispy fried tofu. It is delicious. It is so good. And every time I order it, there are people that look and they're like, "Oh, I wish I got that," because it really is that good. You can also get that in a kid's portion. So keep that in mind, a kid's portion. So the kids' meals, if you have kids that like, they're little foodies and they don't just want, a burger and fries or chicken nuggets, there are places where the kids' meals are really, really good. Satuli Canteen is one of them. Also, I've had great luck at Flame Tree Barbecue. Flame Tree is really, really good. I have had really good luck at Restaurantosaurus. So if you guys are seeing a theme here, Animal Kingdom is a place to do quick service.
You mentioned Flame Tree Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Jen is strict vegan. She has had phenomenal food at Woody's Roundup Barbecue at Hollywood Studios. That is a sit down, but they had a whole menu for you. Do you remember that?
I remember that. I also remember both times I've been there, it has taken 3 hours. So plan accordingly, because it's been a lengthy process, but yeah.
Not bad. I remember you ate well. I forgot that part.
I did, and it was really good. They have made a few modifications to their menu since we've been, but it was really, really good. I didn't do Hollywood Studios, so
I want people to know that they shouldn't be afraid of a barbecue
no,
or a steakhouse like Steakhouse 71.
no.
People should not steer away from that just because the name alludes to more meat or something of the sort if you're vegan, vegetarian, or pescatarian. I just want to also shed a light on that.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I say study the menus, because every place has plant-based options. Everywhere has a plant-based option. So whether you can eat it or not, if you have allergies, it's a whole nother story, but every place has a plant-based option, or at least one. Some places have more than one. My favorite quick service and actually we had kind of talked about it a little bit, but my favorite quick service at Hollywood Studios is Lunchbox. Is it Woody's Lunchbox or Andy's Lunchbox? Woody's Lunchbox? I don't even know.
Andy's Lunchbox.
Andy's Lunchbox. Okay, so they have a really good grilled cheese there. So, and the tots. And they have a really, I don't remember what their slushy drink is, but that's really good too. All right, table service. And I'll try to make this one quick because I have a lot. So, and we're going to touch on the resorts for this one too, because some of my favorite restaurants are in the resorts. So first, Ale and Compass. Ale and Compass has always been phenomenal. Phenomenal. I also, if you guys have heard us talk about it many, many times, Steakhouse 71. They have a mushroom Wellington that is so amazing. Their onion rings are just, oh, they're just divine. They are divine. I love Steakhouse 71. We try to eat there every trip. We didn't do it on this last one, and I still feel bad about it. Magic Kingdom, I don't really have one there because I just haven't had good luck. The only place that I haven't tried yet is the Plaza, so I'll probably be trying the Plaza just to see, what they can do. Let me see. In Epcot, oh gosh, Epcot Garden Grill. Garden Grill has been phenomenal. Shout out to Chef Jonathan, waiter Andy, and hostess Camille for completely salvaging our day when we were there a few weeks ago. Amazing. Just amazing. So everything is really fresh, but they're really, really good. You'll get your own skillet. They serve it family style, so everyone has like these big skillets that they serve themselves from. You will get your own skillet. So that's one of my favorites there. It's probably my most favorite in that area. I also, is it Via Napoli? I can't ever pronounce that.
Pretty sure it's Via Napoli. However, Steph being the multilingual translator, always making fun of Brooks and I and the way we pronounce things.
All right. If you would like to correct me, send me a voice message with how it's pronounced.
Any Italians watching? Anybody from
Any
New
Italians?
Jersey? Let's go.
I'm
Tell
so
us how
sorry
it
if
is.
I butchered it. I am not one for foreign languages. It just doesn't but I've had very, very good luck there. I've also had an amazing experience at Rose and Crown. Rose and Crown are so accommodating and that food was so good. So that takes care of Epcot for my favorites. You might have your own favorites, and if you do, I would love to hear them and why, but these are mine. So Hollywood Studios, you could name just about any restaurant except for Hollywood Brown Derby. I love all of them. I had some trouble with Hollywood Brown Derby. My favorite in that area is going to be a tie between Hollywood and Vine, and just because of the amount of food that I could have there. And then also the Toy Story Land. What is that one?
Roundup Rodeo.
Roundup Rodeo. I keep wanting to say Rodeo Roundup, but that's not right. It's Roundup Rodeo. So they were really good. And that's a fun place, but it did take a very long time and it's very, very loud. If you don't like loud, it's loud in there. It's loud. And then in Animal Kingdom, I totally just blanked. I'm really struggling tonight. No. Tusker House. Tusker House. I did have a good experience at, I know, that's like one of our favorite restaurants.
That is my favorite for breakfast.
It's so good. It is so good. I've also had really good chefs at Jico, at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and there was another one. I haven't been there, but one of the most amazing chefs on property was working there. I don't know if he's still there, but Cape May Cafe has Chef TJ. And if you don't know who Chef TJ is, you should do a quick search because Chef TJ is the bomb. But I've been lucky. I've had really good chefs at places. So, and we talked about Club Level. Hands down, Club Level has to be my favorite. Those are my favorite chefs because they know you by name. They have a file on you. They have food ready to go. You can say, I won't be here for lunch today, or I'll be here for dinner. And I have pictures of some of the food when I'm talking like, man, did I have some great, great food from Club Level. So, all right. One of the things that we do, this is a little helpful tip. is that we have little business cards with our allergies listed on them, so we could hand them a business card that says, "Hi, I'm Jennifer," or in case of my daughter, "Hi, I'm Amelia. These are my allergies. This is what I'm allergic to." Sometimes they ask what kind of reaction you have, so that they're, sometimes just really extra careful. I had a chef ask me one time, "How bad is the tomato allergy?" I'm like, "Well, it'll be an ambulance ride because it has been the last 2 times that I've had it." And they're like, "Oh, okay, enough said." Um, because I think some people sometimes go in and they say something's an allergy and it's not, it's more of a preference. So please, I just want to put this out there. Don't say it's an allergy if it's just a preference, because they will eliminate every single food that has any kind of trace in it. And then you're going to be like, "Why can't I eat anything? I want this." They will refuse to serve you that food if you say it's an allergy. So please don't lie about it. But we have little business cards that we can hand out to the chefs and they can take them, and, then they have a visual instead of just writing it. Some chefs have refused it, some chefs have taken it, but we always carry them with us. One of the resources that I like to use, if you're plant-based, there is a site called Vegan Disney World where you can click, you can put in whatever park, you can put in whatever resort you're at or anything, and it'll show you all of the options within. So if you, eat plant-based because of allergies, then that would be a really good option for you. Also, our number one tip: please work with an agent who is very well versed in allergies. I don't care who it is. Make sure that you're working with an agent that is well versed in allergies. I cannot stress this enough. There are so many things. There's menu changes. There's little tips and tricks that I couldn't even begin to get into here. Knowing how to get to all of the first aid stations, knowing which hospitals, knowing, and, pharmacies that deliver, and how to keep your EpiPen safe. There are 100 little things that go into traveling safely. Please work with a travel agent that specializes or is very well versed in allergies.
I'll still shout out Fairy Tale Journeys, our sponsor, because
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, that is an agent at Fairy Tale Journeys and is a wealth of knowledge. And like her, there are many other people within Fairy Tale Journeys who have their own allergies or their own accommodation, disability, you name it. And working with an agent within a Fairy Tale Journeys really puts you into the best position to have that experience and that knowledge embedded in any trip
Yeah.
within the agents of this particular agency, which I'm proud to be a part of too. So,
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
my shout out, because this is Disney's all fun and games, but this is a serious topic that is very important, and we want people to be safe, and Disney's all about safety, right? So that's why I can at least attest that Fairy Tale Journeys, you will be in good hands, or have the resource, or we as agents will have the resources to best accommodate.
Yeah. And I have to say, it was kind of nice at Summit, although, I hate that we all have allergies, but there's several of us that have allergies. And so, last week or the week before, it was kind of nice to see them all and be like, "Hey, yay, my people that understand it firsthand." And, we would kind of congregate when they were serving food and being like, "What do they have for us? Where's our food?" There's a lot of really good agents out there. And I love my little allergy besties at the agency. We all kind of band together and, we try to make it fun. And
So
we want
Jen,
everyone to be safe.
I have a question. You mentioned
Yes.
at the beginning that you were going to do some shout outs. We've kind of done a few. Do you have any other shout outs that you want to make? Because there are so many fantastic people that have helped you on your vacations, and they deserve a little spotlight and recognition.
Yeah, so I mentioned Giovanni and Derek, who are club level at the Contemporary. Contemporary is my favorite club level. Shout out to them again because they are just that amazing. just so amazing. The amount and the quality of the food. Gio made me this broccoli cauliflower dish one time that, I don't know, he put it through a pizza oven with, I don't know. It was magic, but he was down in the kitchen doing it, and other chefs came by and ate all my food, so he had to remake it because it was that good. So I had to wait a little bit longer, but it's food that other people are going to be envious of. So we had Chef Jonathan at Garden Grill recently, and he was amazing. We also didn't talk about it, but we did a dessert party, and I have a hard time with dessert parties because of they kind of mass produce everything and bring it out. But Chef Hannah at our dessert party in Epcot, she was amazing, and I was already so stuffed. I felt bad because I'm like, I really don't want anything. And she's like, but I have all this food for you. So she gave me the most delicious chocolate cake I think I've ever had. And it was great. And she put some blueberries on it. And it doesn't sound like a good combination, but it really, really was. So Chef Hannah, I don't even know if she's like event services or what, but she was really good. And I didn't even get to try all the stuff that she had specially made me. So, because I was so full, just so full. So, I want to touch really quick that if you were down there and something happens, alert them immediately. They will get you help immediately. A lot of people don't know this, but they have paramedics at every park, backstage at every park. They will get to you very, very, very quickly. Now, the ambulance necessarily won't get there very fast, but the paramedics will. And I've been in that situation, and the paramedics were there, I don't know, within a minute or two. So if something arises, let them know as soon as you start feeling bad. I realize you may be on vacation and you may want to power through it. Please do not power through it. Don't even try it.
It also doesn't cost anything
It
to
does
you for
not.
the paramedics to come out.
It does
I
not.
mean, they're also there to make sure that you don't have to go, to the Orlando Regional Medical Center, for anything serious. So just take the precaution and ask the cast members for the paramedics if you truly need something.
Yeah, if you do. One time I was able to make it to first aid in the Magic Kingdom. So I'm grateful for that I was close enough. We had eaten at your favorite place, Kelton, at Pecos Bills, and not your favorite. Okay. I thought it was your favorite. Is it
No,
lovely?
not one of my favorites. It is good for something different, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Elise, it's just not my favorite.
Well, whoever's favorite it is, I am sorry, but we'll never ever eat there again. And, even though they are as careful as possible, things can still happen. So being prepared, having your EpiPen, knowing, where first aid is. Also, you got to be. And then also, letting someone know, please, please, please do not try to fight through it and just think, well, maybe I'll just go back and I'll lay down. Please don't. I know recently someone ate, well, it was last year, but someone ate at the Irish place in Disney Springs, and it did not end well. So, and she reported it pretty Raglan Road.
Raglan Road.
And that is not owned by Disney. That is a third party. But I know that historically they've been really good with allergies. I'm not sure, what happened there. And it was a very unfortunate and very sad thing. But just be mindful of all of those things. And, if you need help, please, please, please go get it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll answer as many as we can. And that's about all I have for allergies.
I think
Jen,
that's a
thank
good
you so
amount.
much. Yeah. And I want to just emphasize one thing, if I can. You touched upon your personal experiences and your specific allergies and dietary restrictions. But for anyone listening, take this episode as a basis for how you should handle your own dietary restrictions. And if you can take nothing else, know that Disney is going to do everything that they can within their ability as long as you communicate with them, to try and accommodate and make you a good meal, not just a dish to eat.
Yeah.
Talking something flavorful and savory. So, thanks, Jen, because I know I've learned a lot from you, and I'm really happy that we did this episode. It's been a long time in coming. So hopefully those that are listening to this who either have an allergy themselves or know someone and have been on the fence about going to Disney, this hopefully could be a push for them to take the trip, because they can go with the confidence that, okay, I might have certain food limitations, but with your personal experience, I think, it really helps people, put things into perspective for them. So thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It's been fun. All right. So we had a trivia question at the beginning of the episode. So Kelton, would you like to redo all that?
I would love to. Let's take it on back here. At the beginning of the episode, we did have a trivia question. I gotta scroll back up now. What was the first character dining experience at the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida? Anybody have any guesses? Out there in Radio Land, if anybody has a guess, drop it in the comments, because I'm about to tell you right now, it is actually the Top of the World at Disney's Contemporary Resort, which you may know now as California Grill, because Top of the World has actually moved over to Bay Lake Tower.
I had no idea. I for sure thought it would be like Tony's or Plaza, ever thought. And not only California Grill is no longer a character dining, people. No longer a character dining. Oh, how the times have changed. But that's a good trivia question, Jen. Good pick.
Yeah. There's some really great pictures out there of Top of the World. So
go
and look those up. There's some really cool pictures of there. All right, folks, so that about does it for this week's episode of the Mouse Ears Podcast. Don't forget to join our Mouse Ears Podcast Facebook group and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and stay up to date with all things travel, but mostly Disney. Steph?
I want everyone out there listening from the Mouse Ears universe to tune in to next week's episode, because we've got a very, very special guest. I won't give anything away, because if you follow us, or if you don't follow us on social media, you'll find out real soon who our special guest will be, and it will be an episode you won't want to miss.
I'm excited about this one. I'm really excited. All right, guys. All right, if you're interested in having a Fairy Tale Journeys travel agent book your next trip, visit fairytalejourneys.com. Let them know the podcast sent you. And if you enjoy our weekly episodes, or as we like to call them affectionately, train wrecks, we'd love for you to leave us a review wherever you listen to us. So until the next episode, thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.